Okay, I vaguely remember that we fought our way through this thing, right? Through... What? That is a bit weird. Where are we on this map? Huh. No, that's not where we are, right? Anyway, I think we came from here-ish? Probably. Let's pretend we care about the quest and follow that dude. After talking to this dude.
Will remain closed until the council reaches a decision.
That is annoying, because that means I can't meet all those nice little vendors out there. I am totally following the quest.
Squirrel! Hello, witch. Go bump your woman.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Totally wasn't going to try and cheat the progression here. Do blade. Oh, wrong button. This is the button. Armor enhancement. Damage bonus on signs. Interesting. Oh. Well, it's walking time. Until we can find a vendor and or a stash. But that doesn't mean we can stop finding things, right? That's not how this works. Why can I not loot that? That is definitely a thing, but I can't loot it for some reason. Do 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 do.
You a jester? Stop showing off, Richard.
That's kind of weird that it says additional weapon when it goes in the steel sword slot. That's not really an additional weapon then, is it? We're probably going to the inn, right? Into the inn. Do 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 do. Investigator needed. He is special experience in conducting criminal inquiries to help solve a series of mysterious murders of young males, both elven and human. Generous reward awaits the individual who ascertains the identity of the perpetrator or perpetrators and meets out just punishment. For additional information, find me by the cauldron. RP contract. Hear ye, hear ye. Good folk of Vergen, all visitors. And so many intrepid swords and champions of so many causes have gathered in Vergen, or Vergen? Vergen, I guess. Perhaps one would perform a public service by going to the Harpy lair and exterminating the creatures once and for all. Promise a hefty reward and eternal glory as a monster slayer. Proclamation of closure of the mines. Attention, the miners near Vergen have been overrun by beasts and will be closed until further notice. The mines, not the miners. The miners will be closed. To ensure the population's safety, townsfolk are not only forbidden from entering the mines, but also from approaching them. My decision is final and binding for all, even those individuals who might beg to differ. You know who I mean. If anyone takes exception to this decision, you see me during working hours. That's a burden, alderman. I am not townsfolk, right? Baltimore considered dead. It is hereby announced that the search for Baltimore, our beloved runesmith, has been concluded. The distinguished Thorak, whose craft we all know and value, is hereby appointed Baltimore's successor. However, anyone who manages to ascertain the cause of Baltimore's death, or establish his whereabouts, should the venerable smith prove to be alive after all, must inform me immediately of the discovery. All who provide news supported by evidence shall be duly rewarded. Special burden, alderman. And a Harpy Queen contract. Also, interesting. So I just reported a spammer, right? That came into the channel and wanted to sell me viewers and shit. And 6 minutes later, he's been banned. Good job, Twitch. I hereby place a bounty on the Harpy Queen, or as some call her, the Mother Harpy. Be warned that the beastie is no nestling. Any would-be killer has shattered his teeth on her, so the fight will be difficult. Brave soul that rids us of this winged bitch will not regret it. It's a burden, alderman. Cool, I need to learn more about harpies first, that's slightly annoying. For our freedom and yours. Wait, what is for our freedom and yours? I don't quite get the intent of this poster, but who knows. Oh, I thought I could turn it off. Alas, I cannot.
Look,
So, NPCs can walk through the door with me, but I can't walk through the door with an NPC. That is discrimination against player characters. I demand satisfaction. Yo, you there.
business or rest?
Rest. And maybe some trading.
Ah, welcome. How can I help you?
Let's trade first. No, let's stall first.
How can I?
I'd like to play dice poker.
No!
Fair enough, but I only pick the best. He travels. How can I help?
I didn't even care what he said. So, I mean, I can sell all this shit, right? Let's keep one NECA trophy. Mutagens, Pupe, Alchemy. So the annoying thing is, right, because all this shit has a weight, I'm just dumping it into storage, right? Why does this sometimes not register? Like half the time it doesn't register the double click. Anyway, because this has weight, I'm just dumping it into the chest, right? And because I do that, I never have the stuff around for crafting, or rather, I never know what I could craft if I would look at my stash, right? Which is a bit annoying.
How can I help?
The snares are quite heavy, right? Maybe I shouldn't sell quest items. I'm not sure if I should or should not, so let's just not. Can I sell this? No. I can't use it for anything either, but the game doesn't care.
Hello, Chief. Greetings.
Wins!
Hee-ho, hee-ho. Hello. Hee-ho. Hee-ho, hee-ho. I can see that your arm's itching.
Let's wrestle, bitch. I forgot to save. Anyway, let's wrestle, bitch.
Change the fate of kingdoms. Sets me to the edge.
This actually still requires concentration. I wouldn't say it's hard per se,
No,
but
man.
I actually need to focus.
But arm wrestling. Save, maybe a witcher. Take your gold. That's well deserved.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got a sword.
Fancy taking on a dwarf?
It's nice to see racism in the other direction for once, right?
I heard human.
I mean, it's not nice to see racism, that's not what I mean, but... So this guy is standing on air, leaning against air, and I can't talk to him. Interesting. He's too cool to talk to people like me.
Lots going on around here.
Aye, a virgin dragon slayer, squirrels dazzled with her, politicking peasants, witches and a
So, is that a dragon slayer who happens to be a virgin? Or is that a slayer of virgin dragons?
The onlookers gawking at the whole thing.
Hope things get back to normal soon.
Oh, you swine!
Lots going. Hope.
Greeting! Give us a kiss! Stop
Mwah.
him and wrap him up!
Since when do noblemen fight peasants?
Sign of the times. Saskia treats the peasantry as our equals. And once you let a dog inside, it'll never sleep in the doghouse again. But that's not for me to judge. The point is, you can make good coin off his fights.
Any rules to this?
Each contender puts down his stake, which rises the more fights he wins. If you want to fight, put down some coin. Up for the next fight, or are you just going to stand there and go?
A worthy contender, please.
For starters, you'll fight a novice. Stand and fight.
I don't care what this is about.
Your coin. In that case, betting is now open. Fight his balls!
Stop stroking him and wrap him up!
Oh my god, that was 2 wrong buttons. I hate quick time events.
Between the eyes. That was a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. You're moving up the ranks, sir, just like your winnings. Ready for another fight?
Any rules to this?
Each up for...
A worthy
The better the opponent, the better the fight. The better the fight, the higher the stakes. The higher the stakes, the bigger the winnings.
I would kill for a good steak right now.
In that case, betting is now open.
Also, I forgot to save.
Afraid of him!
I'm totally not a jump saver, by the way.
Fight his balls! Finally, an end to the flailing and
Was
someone with
that
a
guy's last name placeholder?
Who is yours? You're moving up the ranks, sir.
I've got no...
Stop stroking him!
Up for the next fight? Or are you just going to...
A worthy
Excellent.
Excellent.
He's the strongest lad I know. He's knackered many
fast.
a plough horse.
Only 3.
The fortune he's made in his fist-fighting career makes many a nobleman green with envy. Hurry, before it's too... In that case, betting
So that
is
makes
now
140 that I win in total.
open. Slug him between the eyes.
Easier if I don't look at the actual letters and just at the direction they appear in.
That was a sight for sore eyes. Beautiful fight. Congratulations on your win. A wonderful show of strength, precision, and agility. Seems there's no one left to challenge the new champion.
You couldn't be more wrong.
Sir Silk,
Ooh,
It is I.
funny seeing you here. You've always claimed such fights were a primitive diversion for commoners.
A true knight duels another in the exquisite company of ladies and real gentlemen.
Oh, I'll never forget the great achievements of Selkirk in the tourneys.
On many occasions did my brother prove his greatness. Alas, the world's going to the dogs. Today a knight must challenge commoners to prove his bravery. But there's a witcher among you. And though his blood is no match for mine, his warring mastery is satisfactory. Perhaps when he drops to the ground at my feet, you'll realize I'm not merely Selkirk's brother. I'll be known as Silgrat, every witcher's worst nightmare. I challenge you, witcher. The wager is 2 sacks of gold. Believe me, Silgrat doesn't challenge any old serf.
You want to prove you're your brother's equal? Show me what you're made of.
Stand and fight.
Fight his balls!
bite his balls! That sounds terribly unsportsmanlike, doesn't it?
Stop stroking him and wrap him up!
You won. Finish me off.
I'm no murderer. Besides, it was only a fist fight.
I'd rather have died at your hands.
It was an honest fight, just like you wanted.
You fail to understand. My reputation is ruined, my honor gone.
I thrashed you and won a pile of coin. Not sure I care about your reputation.
That's the spirit.
Silgrat forgets no insult.
Congratulations to the victors, and thanks to the vanquished. You proved your
Victors.
mastery. Fighting you is an honor. Let's tend to the pool. Fight his balls. Not the hour for punch-ups. Come back later.
What? So where's this bloody dwarf that I was supposed to follow? Probably at the far end of this corridor, right? Wait, this is the far end of this corridor. Hey!
This shall be your chamber, Witcher. They say Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before battle.
What's the Selkirk guy even?
But at least he was well rested before he died. Need anything else?
Thanks, Galen.
Why are there sleeping noises here?
Geralt, right? My uncle's told me a lot about you. Nice work with those spectres. And Saskia, well, I wager the gods didn't think you could save her.
Your uncle.
That's just
Cecil,
a day's work.
I help him out here and there managing Vergen. Scaling Burden's my name.
Nice to meet you.
Want to arm wrestle?
Is Cecil your guardian?
Aye, ever since my parents passed on. He took me in, fed me, taught me a profession and how to live, really.
How did your parents die?
During one of the massacres Demavend arranged for us. But I'd rather not talk on that.
Sure, sorry. What'll you do when the battle rolls around?
I'll be right out front fighting. Uncle Cecil's allowed it. Says I'm an adult.
No fears?
Of what? My uncle believes I can do it. And Yarpen taught me how to swing an axe with follow-through.
Yarpen, you say?
I'll smash a few heads. Then go to the tavern and drink till I drop.
Battles are unpredictable, and this'll be your first. You'll have to kill, wade through piles of bloody corpses, all the while watching you don't get cut down yourself. Sure you're ready for this?
To tell the truth, I'm shitting myself a bit. Straw dummies. That's all I've swung at so far. When I think on what's going to happen here. But, all for one and one for all, right? Just don't tell my uncle, please. He's thrashed me a few times already for talk like that.
One for all and all for me.
Hey, Scalen, wanna arm wrestle?
I really like to wrestle, but
It's not the contest of the century, I just want to test you.
steady on! I've got conditions.
Will you be
First,
my friend?
you have to beat Yarpen and Sheldon.
Hey, Jatha. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. And I totally didn't pay attention.
Chumps. Yarpen Zigrin and Sheldon Skaggs.
I can do that. But first, I need to attend the War Council, I think. Maybe I meet them on the way. Who knows?
A calm day, but tomorrow, who knows?
Boo boo boo. Where is that thing even? That's an interesting location. I suppose this is an entrance? Probably.
Greetings!
Thought we had a basilisk in the basement.
Mysterious merchant. That is quite a bit more damage than I have right now, I think. Yes. But I don't think I get the runes back, right? That's a bit annoying. So let's go look at my stash, what I have to put in there. Wait. That one's new. Coiffeurs? Coiffeurs? Yes, right. In Vergen, all humans and elves, as well as dwarves concerned for the state of their beards, are hereby advised that a coiffeuse esteemed around the world has arrived in Vergen. Felicia Corey, for that is the name of the lovely lass, I suppose, is a true magician with her shears, to which I can attest personally. Encourage all townsfolk to partake of her services, as it will not do for visitors to claim that crows make their nests in dwarven beards, and Vergen is a backwater immune to all manner of novelties and fashions. One was a Corey. Or Corey? provides services on Rundurin Square, very near the cauldron. She's quickly and efficient, and her prices are more than reasonable. Is this the cauldron? No. I don't think so, at least. I was going to look at my stash, right? I might get easily distracted sometimes.
How can I help?
Enhancements. Runes auto upgrade. Resistance to incineration. Damage bonus and science. And damage plus 5%. I don't think there's anything I want to particularly put in there right now. That's that. That was weird. Just a little bit. Let's see who that blue dot is. On the map. This is still closed because the War Council hasn't decided on anything yet. Wait. What? The blue dot teleported over here and now it's gone. Something is not right. Interesting. Is this where I have to go? Might be.
Go bump your woman.
Thought we had a basilisk in the basement. Turns out it was just my wife getting cold.
This is not the way to go, turns out. But, there are some things people lost here that I need to take care of until they can take them back.
Morning.
Go bump your woman.
That also isn't the way to the council, I suppose. Who'da thunk that the prison is locked? Oh, this is the way in. Yep, okay. Well, let's explore the rest of this area first.
Hey-ho, hey-ho.
That's not a dwarf.
All strangers.
Greetings! It's a waste of words.
Doo-doo-doo. You people also forgot some stuff. Can I please? Hello? Game? Please? No. Me loot. No more of me loot. But I can't reach. Oh, the humanity. Doo-doo-doo. I was going to say you guys are not using this stuff anyway, but I'm also not really going to use it because I'm just going to put it into my stash and forget about it. Apart from the gold, that's something I can probably use.
Pale face, eyes like embers. It raised his hand and pointed a finger at him.
Oh, that's a dog. For some reason it looked more like a giant rat.
Huh? Greetings, colleague. I'm Urso, rat catcher. Traps of all sorts, for mice and for trolls, and a special
treats,
discount
yes.
for witches.
Interesting. That's funny. Was supposed to attack each other.
Oh, a witcher.
A witcher. That is correct, I'm a witcher. Oh, would you look at that oil? Hello, Mr. Dwarf. Don't mind me. I'm just taking everything that's not nailed down and some of the stuff that is nailed down, actually.
Damnation!
Okay. Sure. Damnation works for me. Oh, that's exactly the same spot that I walked into before. Oh, interesting. Let's not get distracted again. Damn, there actually is no map for this, which is quite annoying. I guess that might be correct, right? Correct way to go. Attention, monsters! Giant rats! Which are probably regular-sized rats, but these are dwarves, so they look giant. Pickaxe? Sure. I'm sure I can get like 2 orens for that pickaxe. So, oh, magnifying glass. Interesting. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. The War Council, woo!
You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely,
I can attest to that.
We're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist
Everything
will
else.
grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes. But I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to...
Which doesn't really help when the mist engulfs the city, right?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You see, he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous.
I mean, it's their loss if they
addition,
do.
We need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia.
At least 3.
Well,
How many?
we dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,000 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
I think that we have a city that we can defend, so 5 to 1 isn't bad odds.
Though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Jorvith's elves. Scoia'tael.
There's your ranged. And that's like 100 people, roughly? If I recall correctly.
Gentlemen, I give you Jorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers? Here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves. But even a shit...
What about fraternizing with friends?
He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the Northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Jorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf! Treason runs in his veins!
That's racist.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense.
Also, for the record, he's going to be fighting humans here
They
too.
died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They'd been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed.
Any army can be routed.
I want Jorvith to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Jorvith stays.
Bloody hell! Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
It's not like you have much of a choice, guys.
Nay. You killed my men, Elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't
That's
killed them, they'd have
two
killed
against 2
me.
then, I guess.
All right. For
Oh,
the
3
sake
to
of
1.
better times, and for Kedwin's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
That was an abrupt change in music. Not good. Not good.
Poison! She's dying.
I was just about to say something about all of them drinking at the same time, and the weird emphasis on that.
Soon.
But apparently only hers was poisoned.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
That's a good sign or a bad sign.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible.
Oh, okay.
Her condition is stable.
Bad sign then. Because she can't heal her.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadour, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
I mean, if a poison were to have a good reputation, that would be a bad sign for poison, right?
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed...
Oh yeah, the mages have been meddling with this shit, I remember.
As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
That sounds like a great idea.
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the immortal.
I don't suppose I have that in my stash.
Rose of remembrance.
Oh no, I need that rose.
Find immortals.
They grow
technically
deep beneath the earth.
More can be picked, right?
As Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The immortal will help restore them.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find.
And I need that rose.
Saskia.
Thaumadour is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right. Let's forget the rules. I need a vast quantity of power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortal, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
Yeah, of course it does.
Not that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Maybe it was you all along. That wouldn't make sense, but copyright strike on The Witcher. Who knows? It's just a ring, right? Wait, where am I? Oh. Okay. That's where I am. Oh, level up. Ooh. I'm not even sure what I was going to do here. I think I was just going to max those two first. Wait, that is on 2 already. Oink. So we are in an awful hurry, so of course what we're doing will be explore the town.
Basilisk in the basement.
Right?
Turns out it's just a white wolf.
So, greetings, White Wolf. Hello. Damn! What's with everyone being so nice today?
That's a good question. I'll try my best not to be nice. You guys should have more stuff. Do I want to read those? I'm not sure. How long are they? Thanet Coup. The coup at Thanet Island was one of the most significant events in history. Isn't that the, yeah, during the Sorcerer's Summit. It's the Sorcerer's Island, right? With the, academy. On top of it. In that memorable day during a sorcerer's summit, the magicians loyal to the northern kingdoms intended to arrest those of the Brotherhood that conspired with Nilfgaard. The conspirators, on the other hand, prepared a coup against their confederates. They secretly led Soyatal and Nilfgaardian agents on Thanet. Wasn't that part of the first game? I vaguely remember fighting my way through Thanet. Many members of both factions died in the bloody battle that raged in the palace chambers, yet in the end the traitors had to flee for their lives. This event greatly reduced the mage's confidence and many fell out of favor of the kings they served until then. Yep. The Supreme Council of Sorcerers consists of talented mages, most of whom also were advisors to rulers of northern kingdoms. Philippa, Eilard, and Cardoin? I don't know, of Lanexeter were, among others, its members. Though only one member of the council turned out to be a Nilfgaardian supporter during the Thanet Rebellion, a large part of its members, that's a typo, were neutral mages, and that caused a split in the body. Though most of the council's members survived those events, the loss of importance and the king's support resulted in disbanding the association, and sorcerers lost most of their previous influence in the north.
Play dice? Aye. Us two and the smith's apprentice.
And that's it?
In Vergen, there's also the headman, Cecil Burden, and the innkeeper. But they won't play unless you prove your worth, which you could by beating us.
I'm actually going to save scum that because I hate
Care to roll a few
luck-based games. I would have taken 5 once. The fuck was that? That's 2 4s, 2 3s, and a 6. I might actually win this. No! Oh, it counted. Oh, a full house! Yay! Boys.
Give me a chance to win it back?
No. No.
Care for a game of...
Oh, wait.
Care for a...
Doo-doo-doo. That's 11256. Great. I didn't even look at his stuff, but I mean, there's not much point at doing that anyway, right? Case in point.
You lost.
No. I'm shivering. Oh, wrong game. I'm better than you.
Careful.
I could just not do that side quest, right? But let's be real, that's not really an option, is it? I will keep that.
I'd like a rematch.
You are not getting one.
Gods above.
Well, I'll be plowed by a ferret.
Yeah. Witcher Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, you're a witcher like any other. Those swords, things of beauty.
Nothing special about them.
Ah, you're mistaken. Few know how to make a silver blade today, fish eat me if I'm lying, and engraving runes is not exactly farting down a rain spout. I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares?
Sure. Red meteorite silver sword, chance of instant kill +1. I can spec into 4%. Plus 10% for riposte. It's not really worth putting more of that on the sword, right? Especially if I lose damage. I could use that, I suppose. Iskith rune sounds fun.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh.
I'd like to play dice.
No! Oh, what? He doesn't want to play me?
I wouldn't mind.
I'm insulted.
I'd like to.
No, go.
Oh. Oh well. He's the end boss, I suppose. But it's a bit weird that some of the dice poker games are gated, because at the end of the day it's a game of luck anyway, isn't it? So how can one NPC be better at it than the next one? I should probably stop going through every single house, not because it's like not right,
Service.
but because it takes ages. Do. Sure. What? Okay. I found Philippa's room, I guess.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
She's sitting right there!
Sorceress.
A charming
Cynthia.
expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning.
Interesting, I didn't know that worked that way.
It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The
Well, the wild hunt isn't a
superstition.
Exactly.
The phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
So she's of the opinion that the wild hunt is basically a wandering snowstorm? That's surprisingly ignorant.
Have you heard about a witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No. Why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
That's a bit arrogant.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwin hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
It was interesting when she started talking about Juden. I was about to disagree because my first thought was duty to her court, right? But the Sorceress's Lodge, I mean, kinda like the mages, right? Both of them. They do have their own agenda and they do have a duty to that, so... That's what she's doing here, trying to keep the peace, in essence. Which is, for change, a good thing, I suppose.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Voltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
Oh, I was thinking of Geralt in his entirety.
A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
Technically, Triss is more likely to survive falling out of the sky than Letho is, right? If there are more redheads around, Geralt wants to get to know them all.
I've heard of flying women before.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As
it is possible.
Lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything.
You think I'll fight him in the inn? In the inn, a drunkard.
Said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divine...
I don't remember Sabrina's death.
Please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him.
I should remember it probably, because I have read and played literally all of the story apart from this game.
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edirn, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led
that's
to
how she
both
died, I suppose.
Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Ouch. So... fire magic is forbidden, right? Because fire is chaos and chaos can't be controlled, will consume you if you try to use it. But it's interesting that he was burnt for that, because a certain other sorceress by the name of Yennefer burned an entire Nilfgaardian army at the Battle of... was it Sodden? I think it was Sodden.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Okay,
well,
how do we know that?
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1.
One.
By a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress
Okay.
Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovin.
Let's be quite clear, those two are probably
madman,
more proficient than these two.
An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega.
Exactly.
Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
I'll look for those artifacts.
I hope that doesn't have any consequences for the present, right?
Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.